everyone, iOS App Lists here with a review of nRadio. It's a really fantastic radio app for iPhone and iPad that can be downloaded from the App Store for 99 cents. This is the main screen of nRadio, and you can see here it's got a really simple interface. It's not as complex as many of the other radio apps like TuneIn Radio, etc., but that doesn't mean that it can't handle playing radio stations. You can see here at the top of the screen, you can scroll through list of stations, and they are sorted by country, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you can see here you can easily scroll through. In order to play a radio station, just tap the play button. You can see at the bottom of, or the middle of the screen, you have volume control, and you can also see album art, etc. There's a timer at the bottom of the screen, below the ticker, and if you want, you can even share radio stations, etc. If you go up to the top right in the settings wheel, that's where the magic really begins. And personally, I think this is what sets nRadio apart from every other app out there. It's because you can customize the app like crazy. So you can see this is what I meant by changing your radio list. You can scroll through and find your country of choice. And once you find your country of choice, it will allow you to import a bunch of radio stations. There you go. And you can see everything has changed over. Now we have RTE radio, etc. But you notice, one thing I did notice and I really like is you're still playing your original music. So anything that you do, whether it's browsing radio stations or whatnot, shouldn't interrupt what you're doing or what you're listening to. Going back up to the settings, another really cool thing about nRadio is you can even import your own radio feed as long as you have the broadcast URL. This is something that I've not seen in any other radio app, so this certainly sets nRadio apart. A lot of times you have a favorite radio station of someone who isn't big enough to be live or published or streamed or included in major lists, but as long as you can get their broadcast feed, you can import it into nRadio, which, in my opinion, is awesome. Another cool thing nRadio lets you do is it lets you change the background of the radio station or the radio interface itself. So if you don't like it, you can go ahead and you can change it. Another neat thing, you can change transparency labels. You can also edit text colors in order to customize your radio experience, make things easier to see, depending on your background, etc. nRadio also lets you customize other settings, such as toggling no screen timeout on battery, no alert on mobile network, or show date and time while playing. You can also set an alarm with nRadio, customize your snooze time length, I'm assuming in minutes. You can decrease snooze time on snooze, 3D touch alarm shortcut. You can also keep the alarm running. And another neat thing for nRadio is you can even show a speedometer while you're in motion. And one thing I do want to mention is you must be in motion in order for the speedometer to show. So you can customize the speedometer units. There's also a thermometer. And once you're moving quickly, quickly enough to register motion, it will pop up on your screen, and you can see your speed while you're driving. Not that you should be watching your phone, but it's pretty cool just as a reference, in case you're glancing at your phone, you can see your speedometer. If you tap the eye at the top left of the screen, kind of guide you through all the different features of nRadio. It's pretty much your main FAQ, if you will. And any questions you might have about the app or how something works will likely be addressed and answered in the help menu. As far as overall thoughts on nRadio, I think it's really a fantastic radio app that definitely deserves a bit of spotlight when it comes to being featured on the App Store, perhaps. Mainly because it sets itself apart in so many ways. There's a bunch of different things you can do with it. You can really customize everything. Text color, background, etc. The speedometer is really cool. The alarm features are great. You really do have control over pretty much every aspect of the app. Another awesome feature is you're not bound to provided radio lists or anything like that. You can import your own radio list. You can select radio by country. One thing I do wish I could find or see is for countries that have different provinces or states, like the U.S., it would be cool to be able to sort radio stations even further down to state. It would just kind of help you find your local radio station a little easier. But other than that, nRadio is fantastic. And like I said, the price, 99 cents. There are no in-app purchases or anything. So for an ad-free experience, interface-wise anyway, 99 cents is definitely worth it. Again, nRadio is available to download from the App Store for 99 cents and is universally compatible with iPhone and iPad. As always, if you enjoyed our review of nRadio, be sure to click like, subscribe, and check us out at iOSapplists.com.